Hi, Canadian Tamilan. Please watch my channel. Today I am at Rochester, Sri Rajarajeswari Temple. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and follow me. When you enter here first, you will meet him, his Dwara Ganapati. So that's the first prayer before you go into the temple.
We have Ganapati is here, Devi, Rajarajeswari is there, and Shiva, Nilakanta, Prana, Lingeswara. So the temple, this area actually used to be a barn where cows and horses used to be, and it was remodeled in 1998 is where the temple moved here. Prior to that, it was at the founder, who his name is Ayya, we call him, Chaitanyananda Saraswati. It was at his house, which is about 15 minutes away. So this temple was built according to not Agamic Shastra, but Tantra Shastra. So you can imagine a yogi or someone lying down on their back, reclined. The top of the head, the Sahasrara Chakra, is the Rajarajeswari. And like you mentioned, this is one temple. You probably can count maybe one or two temples in the world that actually allow you to come right up to the main Mulasthanam and touch. So that's one thing. If you touch with any one of these three fingers, you can offer kungumam on her foot, between the big toe and the second toe, and you can offer it. So this is something that is not afforded in many temples. I would dare say not any other temple in the world. And the reason why this privilege is given is because Ayya, when he got mantra upadesham, his guru said, if you can approach your mother, why can't anybody else approach their own mother? So that's the philosophy in which this temple runs. We're a teaching temple. People can go up and touch, and we give food to everyone 2 times a day, regardless of how many people come. So this is the Navagrahas. They're called the 9 celestial bodies. So starting with Surya, which is the sun in the middle, along with the other celestial bodies like the moon, Chandra, Mangala, Mars, Buddha, Mercury, Brihaspati, which is Jupiter, Shukra, which is Venus, Sanishwara, which is Saturn, and Rahu and Ketu, which are the lunar nodes. So in our temple, these murtis are made out of what's called Panchalogam, 5 different metals that come together. And you can see, like you mentioned, they're with their Patni. So we say, Ayuda Vahana Dhanya Mandala Sameda. Patni Putra Ayuda Vahana Dhanya Mandala Samedam. So they're with their Patni, they have their Parivaram, they're with their Vahanam, and even on top, the diagrams that you see are their mandalas. So when we do, this is another way for us, when you come and see, you can learn, Surya's Vahana is a horse, Chandra's Vahana. So this is very much a way for us to learn more about our culture. That's the whole purpose of this temple. The temple and the atmosphere is very nice. Spiritual.
So, and you're engineering too. So wow, you finished that, and at the same time you concentrate in this our culture. You are watching is one of the volunteer here. His name is, what's your name, sir?
Anagayan.
Anagayan here. We will ask some questions about the temple society and this temple. So please watch until the end. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Can you tell me about this temple? What is this new construction going on?
Yeah, so we have the original temple, which is located there. You may have seen it already. This is actually the location for the new temple. And if you get a close-up, you can see some structures that are already up top. So we started the construction in phases. So the first 1/3 of the temple is what you can kind of see an outline of. That's where we will have the Ganapati and the Murugan Sannadhi. And the rest of it, where you can see here, which is dug up out here, is actually the full length of the expected new temple. Inside we'll have the other murtis that are currently in the temple, which is, we are a Rajarajeswari temple, so the main Mulasthanam will be happening in the middle, with Rajarajeswari will be there. And then again, because Devi is there, we have a Shivalayam, we'll have a Murugan, Nataraja Sannadhi, many other Sannadhis are there. But this is what you can see before the structures come up. You can see the basement layer, as well as the temple will be up there.
Up to level. So how much the budget this?
So this, I think, is a very unique temple because a lot of the construction that we're doing is not just happening in United States. We're actually having stabadis, so the sculptures in India actually carve granite. So the main murtis in the temple, the Ganapati, Devi and Shiva right now are made of granite. And if you look at a lot of the temples back in South India and in Sri Lanka, a lot of the large old temples are made out of completely granite. The reason why granite is chosen is because it's the second most strongest substance after diamond. It's very hard to work with, but the purpose why we use it for temples is if you install a temple and a murti made out of granite and you install it with a yantra underneath, when you do puja to it, the energy from the temple will flow and last a lot longer. They say thousands of years if you install it properly, the murti will be alive. This is one of the lingams that you'll find in the property of the temple. So we have one lingam like this, and there's another one very similar that is actually further back in the property. So this lingam, we have named him Parashurama Bana Lingam. So if you look at Shiva lingams, there's two different types. One which is called a Kriya lingam, which is some person has sculpted a lingam. This is called a Bana lingam. So it's a lingam that's actually formed, self-forming. We refer to as Kasi lingam. And the reason why this area is special, you can see the riverlet, the creek. It connects to a larger river called the Genesee River. And actually the temple itself is circulated. The river goes and connects to the riverlet and it goes all around. It's called Varuna Pradikshina. And why this place is special is for Adi Amavasya, so in around July time, you do tarpanam for your paternal ancestors, so your father and that side, or Chitra Paurnami, which happens around May time, is for your maternal ancestors. And if your parents, your father or mother has passed away, it's important for an individual to do the Shraddha Tarpanam. So once they pass away, and every year on the Tidhi, or the phase of the moon that they passed away, you're supposed to offer Tarpanam. That's the most ideal. If you're not able to do it on the Tidhi, there's a blanket. So Chitra Paurnami is for those who have lost the mothers, maternal ancestors, and Adi Amavasya is for the paternal. And the reason why when we do it at the Sri Vidya Temple, we allow any and everyone who wants to do Tarpanam to come, sit down. They'll get small vessels so that they can do the puja themselves. We instruct them exactly what to do. Pujaris are chanting the mantras so that they're not having a priest or a pujari do it on their behalf. They're actually forming the tarpanam themselves. This is a very important ritual that all of us need to learn and do on a yearly basis, and so we provide that ability for people to come. They'll sit in the different areas to do the tarpanam, and the last part after the pinda tarpanam is you're supposed to wash away the black sesame or white sesame and the pindams into the flowing water, and that's why we have this riverlet here, so that at the end of that they can let it flow off. This was the second lingam that came along with the other one, and you can just see the Avadaya as the circular one. Again, another Bana lingam, it has that shape, and this is the Yoni Pita.
So he is also Parasurama, no?
No, so this is a different lingam, worshipped by, we're not entirely sure exactly who he was worshipped by, but this is another Bana lingam.
Total this area, 23 acres, such a beautiful green space, and there's a lot of good trees and fruit trees and vegetables, so they have a camping site in the future.